Hello,
What's
hello,
up,
hello.
people? And we
What's
did it
up,
again.
guys? We we both did it at the same time.
I think usually we decide like, okay, you know what? This time I'm gonna go first. This time we just said, yeah, we've got the chemistry by now.
Arey, dude, I mean the best chemistry out of all. Like
Oh,
it's
So
it's
yeah,
the
hi. We're the masters of procrastination. I'm going to talk about goal setting.
but before that we gotta introduce ourselves, man. You've
Oh yeah, oh my
forgotten.
God! By this time it feels like everyone already knows. But hey, of course,
Yeah,
like you could be someone who's just the first episode you're listening to is the seventh episode. So
yeah.
in case you don't know who this is the I'm your fellow sheeple along with
Wait. Yo, you just sounded like you said D, and are you my
I'm
D? No, I don't think so. But
Z. I'm Z,
Z.
and I do this kick-ass podcast. Of course, self-endorsement. I do this kick-ass podcast with my friend who usually has a
Has
new
no
name
name.
every episode.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I have a new name. I have a new name.
Oh, you do
Uh,
today? Wow, great.
yeah. My name shall be Messi for today because Messi scores those goals. Yeah.
Oh my God, this guy
Shit
scores so hard.
jokes. Shit
Shit.
jokes. Shit jokes in life.
Okay,
Um,
so this is Messi and Z, and we do this
Messi and Z.
podcast where it's an attempt to create a virtual safe space where no matter what kind of tough life you have and what kind of tough life you've come from, we can give you an hour zoning out, talking to the feeling of talking to friends that you've always had but never spoken to.
Yeah.
Just like a complete chill out vibe, the kind of you had when back you were a teenager and you were sleeping with friends, that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
basically we just here to not only entertain you but like be there for you, talk to you, just
Yeah,
whatever you want us to be, we are there.
yeah,
It just is that, right? You can feel, I hope you can feel safe with us,
yeah,
and we can create that kind of a space where
good.
you guys are okay with, or rather you sheeples are
Yeah,
okay with just having any kind of conversation with us, and or like whatever it might be, join our discussions, let us know if you're doing anything wrong, if we said something that's like not completely correct, or like is we are misguided in something, and you can always let
yeah.
us know what it is. But yeah, we would love to have you guys, like, or I keep saying guys, have you sheeples
Yeah. It's a habit,
be a
right?
part
Did you
of.
notice like a lot of people do this around the world and it's like a super sexist thing to do.
Yeah,
But like the general public addressal is, hey guys, what's up? But then there are women in the audience too. So yeah,
yeah,
we look at everybody as a sheeple.
that's why now we are going to start saying sheeples more than guys,
Yeah, so
because
whether you're a
I think
dude or a
we want
dudette,
to include everyone here. So
yeah, it's
hey,
inclusive of everybody, no matter who you identify
yes,
as. But you've
yes,
got a friend in ours.
you've got a friend in me.
Yeah, a lot of
You've heard that
shenanigans.
song?
No, who's it by?
Oh my god, you've not seen Toy Story 2?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm that kind of
Jesus, Jesus.
Jesus
No,
Cristo.
no. Uh, I think I just had a crisis in my head. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, guys. Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry, sheeples.
yeah. We keep giving each
I
other
don't,
the.
bro. Please watch that movie.
Yes, I don't watch a
You
lot of.
have the
I
time.
haven't
You
watched
have
all
the.
the popular thing. Let me just state it outright. I haven't watched Friends.
You
I haven't watched
you just
Toy
got cut off.
Story.
You just got cut off. I think it's the
I don't
Discord's way of
own
telling you, like, don't say these things.
clothing.
People will get onto you.
Yeah, I don't own Supreme clothing. Yeah, so just I don't know. So on the onset, let me just give you that disclaimer. I'm that kind of person. I like being
Yeah,
a nonconformist. It's just fun.
he's he's a hipster, guys. He's a hipster.
Okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is,
Yes.
guys. So yeah,
No,
without further ado, we gotta talk about
yeah,
because this is exactly what, right? We're procrastinating. The topic of the podcast is goal setting.
yeah.
And we're talking about
And we've procrastinated talking about goals
see
already.
exactly. So this is why you come to Sheeples. Learn how to not do
Yeah,
things.
basically, basically, that's what it is.
Oh, damn.
But
So
yeah,
because
before we begin though, let us just put it out there that our audio, again, we are really sorry it isn't the best right now because
yeah,
we are doing this over Discord, which
yeah.
is
If you're listening to
basically,
this in the year
yeah,
2024, or something. Let me give you like a flashback. The world is out there, just paused. The universe has stopped spinning because there is this little small invisible virus that is fucking everybody's case.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean
This
it's
this
of
this
course it's
little virus has gotten everybody locked up in their own home. So
yeah. So like, who knew? And
yeah,
that's why we're not recording in person. We're recording each locked up in of our own houses.
yeah.
And yeah, if you are in 2020, realize that we made it past this. So good job.
Um, yeah. That's basically the
You
human
made
race.
it.
That's a good thing. That's hope. We
Literally,
can
that's an
hope.
achievement. I wake up every day on my
Yeah.
to-do list. I write, "Don't die today, please."
Please,
Please.
please.
And it gives me so much
Bhagwan हमें बचाओ.
please, bacha. Gives me so much satisfaction at the end of the day when I take that out. Like, yes, I did not die today.
Yeah. And we've procrastinated even more. Let's get back.
Yeah, let's get back. Let's
Let's
get back.
get back.
Too much battery. Okay, do you want
Yeah.
to begin with what goal setting is?
Yeah, so I guess I can start off with like just saying goal setting is some creating basically a milestone or an aspiration that you want to achieve at some point with whatever you're doing, whether it be work, whether it be personal stuff, whether it be health. These are just milestones, or rather small tasks that you want to achieve or reach. Like it might be like losing weight, or it might be making, for us, for this at least Sheeples, it would be like making your podcast become bigger and get more people to listen to us and join
Yeah,
our community.
yeah.
So it's small things like these where basically we want to reach a particular point or other. I can't say, I don't have a word for with me right now. Just the word that comes to my head is goal, and that's what I'm trying to describe.
I mean,
So
I don't know. I can come in there and rescue for a bit. I always looked
yeah,
at goal setting as this human construct of always not being content with where we are, and always wanting to be somewhere else.
to achieve
Um,
something, right? Like
yeah, I
to
mean,
have this particular.
achieving something is like just a nice way to sugarcoat it. But I
Yeah,
think it really is the human need to constantly be displaced from the present moment.
my
I
god.
am,
Jeez.
I am I am not an intellectual right now. My goal is within 5 years to become a thought leader in my industry. So
Says the guy who makes sentences like these. My intellectual name. What
yeah, no, no,
BS.
no. I know, but all I'm trying to say is that the reason why humans have gotten so far is because we're
Mhm.
always very unsatisfied with where we are, and we always want to
Yeah.
do something more.
I
Like,
think it's just like the drive we have, right? Like to,
yeah, the drive.
go somewhere, do something, change.
Yeah,
Like, even though we despise change, it is what
yeah,
we crave as well, to an
it
extent,
is.
right?
It is.
And that is what we are trying to reach towards, get to, achieve, whatever you want to call it. Like achieving, as you said, is a way to sugarcoat it, but
Yeah,
that's what we create for ourselves, right? Like
right.
this particular thing that I want to get, and I want to, how will I, whether it be, let's just say, if it's buying something, whether you want to buy a Lamborghini in your life sometime, that's like you have a goal in mind, right? That you want
Yeah,
to buy this particular thing, and how will you reach that is like that path towards it is what you need to think about in between. Like and that'll have different like checkpoints for you, like different places you'll reach before you actually
yeah.
buy that final Lambo at some point. So basically we always have that need and inner desire to do something more and be something greater than what we are right now.
Fair. And I've often thought about this, and like recently the lockdown is proving me wrong. I've always thought
Mhm.
about not having goals and how amazing that would be.
Mhm.
Not having anything to do and not building up towards something. And always thought that would be so amazing. But like I've got the past 1 month testament to sort of oppose my hypothesis because I tried doing nothing and doing nothing is boring. Like, when you're doing a lot, right? I know I probably sound like a monkey right now in my hand, like just making dumb sentences, but like the idea is when you're doing a lot of things, right? When you're like shit busy and like knee deep in so many things that you have to do, you just
Mhm.
keep imagining this scenario where there is nothing to
Sorry guys. Again, audio cut off for a moment. Can you just repeat that, Z?
Yes. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that, when you have a lot to do, when you're knee deep into work, you keep imagining this life where there is nothing to do, how amazing that would be. And yeah, that would be something. But when you actually get to it, after some time, not doing something is really eats you up on the inside. Like, I can't really describe it, but I think each of us has this internal mechanism that hates it when we get complacent. Like,
Yeah.
it always wants us to like learn a new song on the guitar.
Oh, that I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah,
Like, I always
like
want to learn new things. I want to.
research about
But
something on
yeah,
on you know on the internet, or just
yeah.
listen to a new song, discover something. I think we
And the
have that
goal
inside.
goal doesn't have to be something really big, right? Like it doesn't have to be like oh, I this will take me years to achieve. No, no, goals can be something that you can achieve like in a short amount of time as well, right? That's why there are short term goals and long term goals
Yeah,
in general.
and
That's why it's
I
divided into
think, I
things.
mean, I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but one good way with goals is like really dividing themselves into small digestible bits. So
Yeah.
like, let's say your goal is to write a book. A good
Yeah.
goal for the day would be to write, or maybe two or three.
Can you
That
sorry, can you repeat that? Like the one word that right and then it cut off for that word. So
what I'm trying to say is that if you want to have big goals, there's no harm with that. But it's usually a good strategy to sort of divide them into digestible
yeah,
small bits. So let's say
yeah.
your goal is to write a book. Uh, you obviously are going to find it very difficult to write a book in a day. If you can, please message me, show me how to write a book in a day. I would really
I mean,
appreciate adding that on my
basic,
LinkedIn.
yeah.
Can write a
Always
book in
like
a day.
just getting the beginnings of a book, or whether it be a short paragraph as well, right? Like
Yeah, just divide it into small
having a
parts.
goal of like, yeah, maybe start with writing a basic character analysis of what you want your character to
Character
be like, right?
analysis.
Yeah,
Fancy.
yeah, big words, big words. No, so I mean, you kind of, when you're writing a book, or whatever subject you're gonna write about, right? The first task for you to would be to understand what you want to do with the book, and like understanding your own environment and your own world. If you're creating a fictional book, like understanding your own world, like how you want it, right? So maybe have like small snippets of information just written in small notes, so that you can always have that in your head while you're writing. So again, that's like setting up goals for yourself. Like each day I will flesh this out, or flesh this environment out, or write something about this character, or write like a small paragraph for my book, so that one by one every day your book will start being like written and like made, and finally like at the end you'll be like, I'm glad I took this step of even writing that small sentence every day, so that I could
Yeah.
reach this point of completing the whole book, and where you
Yes.
wanted to reach in the end.
Yeah, I mean, like the one thing that I've experienced, at least in my personal life, is that if I have a big chunky ass goal, and there's a chance that I have five or six of them at the same time, uh, what I really what I really enjoy, I probably don't enjoy doing it, but what I really find success by doing is really compounding, which
Mm-hmm.
basically means that I attempt to solve it every single day instead of, let's say, picking it up 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had the choice of doing 10 minutes a day versus half an hour three times a week, I'd still pick 10 minutes a day, because
Mm-hmm.
just the very idea of mentally being involved and sort of making your head on that problem every single day just sets a different path in motion. Like, I don't know, it just feels like if I'm working at something every day, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm gonna achieve it much more faster. I'm involved in it much more realistically, and it just seems more efficient because you've got to let things compound. And the one thing you
Yeah.
got to make sure before that, like if you zoom out a little, is interest. Like
Yeah.
the only way you can be at something every day is if So
if you're genuinely interested, right? That's the
yeah,
main thing. So
like if my goal was being good at math and I hate math and I suck at math, it's going to be a task, sort of
yeah,
giving time to it
I
every
mean,
day.
it's
But then
good
I have
that
no
it's your
choice.
goal to improve, though. It's a good thing
Yeah,
to have
no,
that
no,
goal to
it's
improve.
not. My goal is
And
to improve at math. It will never be, even though I failed math so hard so many times, it was never my goal. But then that's just a poor reflection
yeah.
of the global education system where you're forced to wear hats that you look stupid in. And
I mean, again, I think basic knowledge of it for us, isn't it?
oh, and
Like, yeah,
yeah, I could do
that,
mental math, but yeah,
yeah.
I have no idea what
I
kind
mean,
of
yeah. Then later on, when we want to specialize in something and focus on something, that's when it all
yeah,
changes, right? When we are
yeah.
older, that's
So
when we really need to have that option to
yeah,
choose what we want to do, rather
correct,
than.
correct.
But
So I
that's a
mean,
whole different topic.
yeah,
But yeah, I
yeah.
think
Why we hate math can
yeah,
be a podcast.
yeah,
All of us
can be
can
a
react
podcast.
like, oh, come on, let's kill math, burn it with fire.
Why did we even who made this?
Who
Who
made
why
math?
was Pythagoras in
All of us
like
have done
something
that,
that
right?
came
Like,
up?
go on the internet and Google
Yeah.
exams and hate on that guy, like son of bitch. Why the fuck did he have to invent
No,
exams?
but honestly, like whatever we are saying seem very archaic, or rather not archaic, rather like might seem really like very obvious, in the sense of like, yeah, we know all this already. You set goals and all that, but you know what? Knowing is one thing,
Why
but
are you then
applying
listening
it,
to this podcast? Ask yourself if you were good at goal
yeah.
setting, like us. We are making this podcast because we suck at goal setting. And you're probably listening to this because you suck at goal setting too, my friend.
Why are you why are you like abusing
हाँ
the sheeples?
हाँ,
This is
मतलब
not
instead don't
good.
listen to the gaming podcast. Go listen to the coffee podcast. यार इतने अच्छे अच्छे we have done so many good podcasts. But no,
अरे
you're
अरे
doing goal
अब
setting.
सेल्फ प्लगिंग
But
बहुत हो गया.
deep down you're like, no, I'm just
नहीं
trying to
नहीं
be.
नहीं.
I'm actually good at
On
goal setting. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah, sure. Join the
No,
gang.
honestly, like this might seem dumb or obvious, but this is something like we all kind of ignore in our daily lives, right? Like we'll always think about, we need to set goals, but upon it, and
Yes.
that's why it is very important. Like it is important to write these things down, like have this set in your head. Ki, I want to do this. I want to do this today, and if I have like an overarching like end goal that I want to reach, like how do I reach that? These are the steps of what I want to do, and this is how I will reach it. Because until and unless you start your work and you start your journey towards it, there's no way you'll reach that destination, right? You need to start somewhere. You need to take that first step to reach that end goal. So basically, that's
No,
what like you need to realize in your life every day.
correct. I mean, the only thing I can add to this is like the only tip I can give you, which sort of I've used and works for me, is to rely on pen and paper. And I buy like a lot of pocket diaries, right? Like stuff that just is very small, can fit into my pocket, and I don't need to have a bag or something. And I've sort of scattered a lot of these pocket diaries around my house, and I have a lot of them in my bag. I have to the college where I go to, and the idea is whenever I want to like really have a to-do list, I will make sure that I scribble it down, pen and paper, and I sort of try to live up to that to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
And once you really write it down, and if you don't do it at the end of the day, you actually feel a little bad because till you don't write it down, it's only mental. So you haven't manifested it, you haven't made it real because it's still in your thought. I mean, raise your hands if you've been somebody who's procrastinated something so simple for like a bunch of years. Like I'm raising my hand. I know you guys. Something as simple as
हम
like
देख नहीं सकते. We can't see you guys,
yeah,
but हाँ.
but my hand is
I'm
raised.
also raising.
Sometime in the future, podcast will uh, have a look at
We'll have a poll, like how many of you raised your hands.
yeah. The idea is you want to first of all make that journey from thought to reality and really write down
Mhm.
your the thing that you want to do, and then that sort of brings you to the next juncture where sort of you have only two ways you can go about this. One is things or goals you want to achieve that you actually
Mm.
enjoy. Stuff like
Yeah.
I want to play the guitar. I want to be a
It's it's
better
it's what you want to do as your
beatboxer.
hobbies, right? Like that's what
Yeah,
you
so
mean, I'm
see,
guessing.
there are two things. One is stuff that you have control over and stuff you
Yeah.
enjoy. The
Yeah.
second one, unfortunately, is something that you don't have control over. Things like, okay, I just joined a new job, and everybody seems to be better than me. I got to get better at it. What do I
Hmm.
do? Let's say I want to be better at Google AdWords, or I want to be better at search engine optimization, or I want to be
Yeah.
better at coding, or a whole bunch of other things. That might not
Yeah.
be in your hand.
That's not the easiest thing to achieve,
Yeah,
like being good at those particular things, but it is something you need to put effort in, right? At the end of the day,
correct.
even if it's things you enjoy, like until and unless you start putting in that effort, you won't be able to reach that goal. And that's why setting and having that goal and pushing yourself to achieve that goal is very important, because
Correct.
until and unless you have something in your head that's very tangible and that's very like developed as a thought in your head, and you want to do it, until you have that, you won't like start anything. Like you need to and it might seem scary, it really does seem scary to, especially like when it comes to bigger goals, set those things up, whether it be like getting or starting up your own company, or making your company reach some like high level, or be one of the top 100 people
Yeah.
who to have startups. Yes, it seems like a very scary goal, it seems like a very difficult thing to achieve, but then you won't be able to go there until and
It,
unless
it's
you
it's scarier
have
when
it in
you
your,
haven't
yeah.
started. Like, to be very honest, like, it's really scary when you haven't started, and it's
Hmm.
weird, but it starts becoming a little less and scary the more you put your time at it. And the idea is to begin as early as you can.
And the funny thing about all of this is like you kind of start feeling happy about achieving those smaller milestones.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing that when you're not doing it but you have it in your head that I want to go there, you'll always feel that scared and weirdly lonely feeling of like, how do I do this, like am I not good, will I be able to achieve that, will I be good enough? Yes, that does seem scary, but if you don't do anything, it gets worse. You kind of get inside your own head at times. You'll be mulling it over and sometimes putting yourself down, but the day you start achieving those smaller milestones towards that end goal, that's when you start realizing, okay, I'm making the movement, I'm making like those, I'm taking those small steps that'll help me reach there, and it just starts making you feel better. And the better and the more like it you feel like you've been productive and you've been doing something worthwhile, the more effort you start putting in at the end of the day. And it's like a cycle, right? Like you can kind of call it a cycle of like just in a way, mental health wise also, it'll help you just improve, and finally, like even though that end goal is not easy to achieve, you'll have more confidence in yourself. You'll find yourself feeling like you're doing something bigger, and you are becoming something better than what you were previously, and that's just a massive difference to you yourself and your self confidence, self worth, self importance. It's very important because at the end of the day, self love is what comes first. And if you don't feel comfortable with yourself or happy with yourself, it can really affect you in a very bad way in the long term. And Z is really quiet. What happened, Z?
No, I was thinking about all the times that I have procrastinated, and yeah, it's like I did it 5 minutes ago because I did it 5 minutes ago. Like, the whole idea is that
Yeah,
all of us are such amazing masters at procrastination. It's like it's our second nature. Like,
yeah,
and I don't know. Sometimes I just like wonder that why do we suck so much at following a path that we've set for ourselves? Like, I
yeah.
get it. Like, if someone else sets your goals and tells you, like, when you're a kid and you're sort of told to live your life a particular way. I mean, I can
Hmm.
imagine that you might drag your feet around because that's not the life you want to live. But let's say you're 25 and probably sort of putting food on the table, and you're sort of at least pursuing things that you want to pursue. Why is it still
Hmm.
then so difficult to keep at it? Like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, we like to tell ourselves that our life is the choices we've made, but at the
Hmm.
same time, why is making those Why do we keep deferring them? Or why do we keep passing the buck around? It's funny that you go to when you think of it that way, you know. I
No,
became
that's
weirdly
genuinely.
positive. Just went into deep thoughts, and I'm
No,
like,
but
क्यों
it
करते
is
हैं?
what we need to think
कहाँ
about,
से
right?
आ
Like,
जाते हैं लोग?
no, but
You
it
know,
is true, right? We both have had experience,
yeah,
like procrastinating, and the more we procrastinated, the worse we felt about ourselves.
yeah,
And
and we still keep doing it, right? It's not like we
can
stop.
yeah, like it's the main thing is like the day you stop and don't do anything or don't want to do anything is the day you need to like start looking into yourself and understanding why is this a thing, why is this happening, is it like and it's something that I've realized that I'm never content with where I am. Like I always want to do, I always feel like I can improve, and and that wasn't something until like a few years ago, where at the time I was really like, and I was going through a depressive phase, and that at that time I used to never think of anything else, I never set any goals for myself. Yes, I had like vague goals like, oh, I want to lose weight, or oh, I want to do this later in life, but I never did anything for it because I always felt like I'm fine where I am. I didn't realize that I wasn't fine with myself until like I looked into it and understood why that was. And when I took my first steps towards, I started off with like trying to lose weight, right? Because that was my first step towards my recovery. If you can, and we've spoken about this in our mental health podcast as well. The first one we did is where I didn't like the period that I had in the 1.5 year between my graduation and my post grad, and before I started my digital marketing course, which was before the post grad. Basically, 6 months of that really helped me. But in that mid period where I was doing nothing at all, just like yes, I did help my mom with her business and everything, but I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I was doing anything that I wanted to do, or rather feel like I was even helping her properly. I was just there, like just kind of existing. If you know what I mean, like
Yeah, just like
I
walking on day.
yeah, and that never really like not having a bigger goal, or not having something like in my head of what I wanted to achieve really put made me stagnant, and it made
Yeah,
me like not happy with what I was, where I was, and what I was doing. And it just put me in a hole that just where I was just like going deeper and deeper and deeper, and never find or trying to find a way out of it, right? And the day I realized that for myself and looked into it, like, is it like, should I do something? And this was through like seeing other people around me, watching stuff, people talking to my mom. I started thinking maybe I need to work towards something, because I had like I had a dream that I wanted to achieve, but I never really worked towards it. And when I saw I need to take a step like in whatever direction, whether it be through health, I started with that, and I started losing weight. And the more I saw myself, like, starting to change my body and change myself, the more I started to understand, okay, this feels good, maybe I should try this now, and maybe I should try that. And it started making me want to do more, right? Like it kind of got me that confidence of, oh, you know what, I think I feel better now, maybe I should start playing my guitar more, and maybe I should study for this exam, and do my digital marketing course, and do this and do that, and this is how I'll achieve that end goal where I want to reach. And that's like, it's just that one step, that one small milestone that you achieve can change that much for you. It makes you feel better, it makes you feel more fulfilled. And that's, at least that was my experience. I can say that helped me in a very massive way to reach where I have reached today. And I still want to get better, I still it. I want to work on Sheeples. I want to make this something that is much bigger than just a podcast. I hope we can make it into a community.
yeah,
Like there are so many things that have started
mm,
coming up, and that I want to go towards. That it just,
yeah.
I don't want to stop anymore. It's just like work, 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 and that's what's making me happy. for the time being. What about
Yeah.
you, man?
Dude,
Like,
this podcast is getting like super serious, man. Like, all of a sudden, I'm finding it difficult to like say funny things. Not that I'm funny.
I mean, this one is like in a way deeper, right? Like, I don't think we need to force ourselves to be funny here.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I was just thinking of like something like funny to say to, and I'm like, no, man, sounds inappropriate. Like we've
I mean, go for it. Do it. Say something funny. It's fine. I
no,
wouldn't.
I can't. Like that's the whole thing. I'm like, shit. This is making me reflect on my life, and I'm just thinking about my for
I
today.
mean,
And
I hope I was able to put forth my idea of why I needed goal setting.
oh
But
no, you were.
I would love to. I would love to hear your, man. Like, what is it that you faced with this? Because we are talking about our experiences.
So I've spent most of my life, and I still continue spending most of my life doing too many things.
Yeah,
Right?
sorry, your voice got cut off again. Like,
I'm saying I've spent a lot of my life, and I still
mhm,
continue spending a lot of my life trying to do too many things.
mhm,
So I also want to learn guitar and also make fragrances, at design, and I want to be good at marketing, and I want to be a better person. I want to spend more
mhm,
time with family. I want to have a better relationship with
mhm.
my partner, who I don't have anymore. Oh, okay.
Oof,
I just recently
oof,
broke up, so I'm not
big
used to
oofs.
talking about it in the past tense. But yeah, we won't get into that bad trip right now. But the point is, I want to do many things.
Yeah.
And the one sad realization I've had, like quite recently, is that life is too short to do many things. Like,
Mhm.
okay, hold on. Right now, you're thinking, like, no, you
Uh,
can do a lot of things, and who's stopping
mhm.
your life way? No, the reason I say it is
I'm
because
sorry, man. Z, like, I don't know why this happens again and again, but like, your voice suddenly like cuts off and then it starts again. So can you just repeat? Again, we are
actually,
really
guys,
sorry, guys.
we're pretending there's an internet issue so we can actually say
Yeah.
things multiple times for emphasis, okay?
No,
If you
we
call
are
us, if
we
you
are
call
really
us
sorry for
early,
the issue.
message us, you
Uh,
get a cookie. Uh, no,
yeah.
so the point is that I've had a realization recently that life is too short to do too many things. And I know that
Yeah.
many people are of the opinion that no, don't be like that. It's your life, live it your way. But the reason
Mhm.
I say it is because life is too short to do many things and be good at them. I'm
Mhm.
talking about level of mastery, and it's like not recently, but about a year or come to my knowledge that to really be, let's say, masterful at something, uh,
Mhm.
you gotta spend about 10,000 hours in a trance-like state practicing. And
Yeah.
researchers call that flow. And if you've not heard of flow before, it's just the feeling that you get when you are in activity and you are so lost in it that the notion of time disappears. And
Mhm.
you could have been at it for like 3 hours and it would have felt like 10 seconds. Like imagine you're playing a video game with your friends, and before you know it, you started at breakfast, time for having dinner. And I'm like, what?
Mhm.
We just started. Like, how did that happen? So flow is that. But I don't know. People look at games in sort of like a non-productive way.
I
Mm,
mean, I think that has changed a lot, right?
that
Especially
has
with
changed a lot.
everything has come out.
But yeah, so the idea is if you want to be a great guitar player,
Mhm.
10,000 practicing. You're going to
Mhm.
have to spend 10,000 hours in an engaged state during practice, which means, let's say you practice for 20,000 hours, and out of which you give half that time fully into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, 20,000 hours for one thing. And if you really do the math, and I'm really bad at it, so I did the math before the podcast, six
Yeah.
times.
We were
Uh,
sitting here with calculators,
yeah, I did it
graphs
six
all
times and I
around
got
us.
a different answer all the six times. But
Yeah.
the idea is, like, if I can give you a ballpark number, you can only be excellent at three things in your life.
Yeah.
And that is a little scary for somebody who wants to do 30 things in a day. That's me.
Dude, I mean,
So,
I completely like relate to that. I can't.
like,
I was just talking about I want to do this, but this
yeah,
is the other point of it, right? Like spreading
imagine if
yourself too
I,
thin.
yeah, imagine if I tell you that now, out of all these things that you wanted to do in your life, just pick three fucking things.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary. And you know what? It's not even three. It's actually two, because the one thing you'll have to spend your time being good at is the job that table. So actually, there is
Pa-
two things.
Pardon, can you just like sorry again?
I said there are three things you can be good at or
Yeah, you said
excel
yeah.
at, but in reality, it's only two because one of them by default.
Okay. Uh,
So basically, all of your expectations in life have to be filtered down to just two things.
mhm.
And I might sort of want to make it a little more depressing, but if physical fitness is the goal, then you're just actually down to one thing.
I mean, you know what? I'd like to live my life a lie then, like
Yeah,
with those
right.
goggles of, you know what?
Let's
I can be good
fucking
at
deny.
everything.
Let's
I
pretend
want
we
to be.
this is
I
so
want to be.
hard.
The thing is, I mean, it does. What you're saying is, I can kind of relate to that and understand. Like, yes, it's difficult to do
I mean, how
everything
many
and
years have
anything,
you been?
but
How many
I don't
years have
have
you
to
been?
be a master in everything, right?
Yeah,
Like, I'm
like
not talking about I
like I
want to
said.
be a master. What I want to do is be good enough to make something of myself, and that's where it comes from. For physical fitness, I would say, like, I don't want the six packs.
Yes.
I'm not looking to be, the fittest
That's a
man in the
fear.
world or the
We
strongest
don't
man in the
want
world.
no six pack.
Yeah, the beer six pack is what I want for sure. But again, I just want to be at a healthy point in my life, not be,
Sure.
fat or rather unfit. I'd rather be at a point where I'd be at least, you know what, I won't have health issues because of
Yeah.
what my body is right now. So
Mhm.
that's again, like, I'm not saying I want to be a master in that, right?
Yeah.
Secondly, it comes to what I do want to be a master in is first of all music, because that's what my, primary goal in life is, and that's what I want to achieve. And I'm guessing for you, Z, it would be a perfumery, right? Like, your be the best you can be with fragrances, right?
Yes.
Right, like, create those kind of fragrances where you like be able to change the whole industry in a way. That must be some kind of a goal that you might have. I'm not one to speak for you, I hope. Like, so for and the other, like, my second goal can be, most probably, I think now it's become with making this our podcast something bigger for the for what it is. But like, that includes me being a better marketer, a better business person, a better entertainer. And that kind of involves 10 different things, right? Like, and it just doesn't involve one thing. That involves, like, being a better person, being a having a proper thought process about things and everything. Like, it involves 10 different things, so you can't always make it into just like, oh, you can only be a master in this, only be a master in that. So I'd say being good and better, like, striving to become better, even though we can't give a complete time, is and putting yourself down about, like, oh, I can't be a master, matlab, I shouldn't even try, is not something we should look at things at, right?
Sure.
Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
probably
I'm
being a
guessing.
little too anal about it. I get it.
No, I mean, I completely, like, dude, I'd say I hopefully, both of us can achieve more than just like, these two things that we were talking about. But yes, I do agree that you can't give more than 10,000, like, 10 different things, right? Like, how we ourselves don't know how much time we have on this uh, weird rock of a planet.
Yeah.
so I mean, the coronavirus might just take us away. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Don't want to die
But
though.
yeah, don't want to die, guys. Don't want to. I mean, don't want to die. Uh,
Um,
but again, like, I would rather be in denial at that particular point and that research than kind of agree with it. But I don't know. That's just me. That's just me being me. Like, but what about you, Z? Like, what are your particular, like, goals that you want to? If those two things were there, what are those two things you want to master in general?
well, for me, it'll actually, if I have to just put it down to two things, it has to be being a master at fragrance creation and the other thing would actually be being able to sort of create a community where people are kind to each other. People have this safe space that they can feel at home in. To sort of create the exact
Yeah,
opposite of what we have social media as today. Like imagine a community where whether virtually or physically, if you log on or visit, you leave feeling better, not
yeah,
leave feeling worse. Like, oh my God, my friend married and
yeah.
2 kids, and this guy went to Harvard, and I'm just sitting and selling beer in a
Hmm.
grocery store. You know, see
Yeah,
that. I think those would be the two things I would really
yeah.
want towards. And yeah, and I think the one of the easiest hacks in life is trying to have your job that earns you money as one of those things. Sort of having
Hmm.
that overlap between what your goal is and making you money.
Yeah,
If that's possible, ikigai, right? Is what
yeah.
that
Ikigai. Yeah.
Japanese principle. Japanese, my
I
Indian
mean,
accent
for the people,
pulls its head out.
who know about it, can you just
Japanese.
elaborate?
Yeah, do that. I mean, I'm
I
sure it's
mean,
not a disgusting
I'm
guy.
saying, can you do it?
Oh, me? No.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
because
were like, no,
because because
I mean,
I'd like to know as well.
no. So from what I've read really lightly,
Yeah.
where you're combining what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, makes you money,
Hmm.
and I think there is
Hmm.
another fourth quadrant as well, and sort of where those things overlap. Like just imagine today. I mean,
Basically,
why?
it's
Yeah, why the hell are you
mission,
doing
passion,
your?
profession, and
Why the
vocation.
hell are you doing? Why did you do your bachelor's in commerce and why did you
Yeah.
do your MBA in
Yeah.
marketing when all you really wanted to be a musician? Why did you
Yeah.
not write from day one when you were 14
No,
years?
that's very true, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so that's what Ikigai is saying is that
yeah,
be good, uh, enjoy doing it, and let it be your source of income.
yeah.
Is what it says is a great way of living life. I don't
Mhm.
disagree, but I don't see many people doing it, including me. I'm
I
just
mean, I
pretty.
think a lot of it also comes out from like how you're growing up or where you're growing up and your environment, right? You don't always
Eh,
get the opportunity to
I
focus on
don't know.
what you love and what you're good at all the time. Like,
Well,
I mean,
that's one way.
people have circumstances that they have to face, like that they are forced to do work on a particular thing or do a particular thing because of some other reason rather than like
I
just
know, but I think people who really know their zone somehow manage to make time for it, man. And I know
yeah,
people
yeah.
who've come from like very modest backgrounds who've had to do 600 things, but
Hmm.
still spent time doing that one extra co-curricular thing and ended up being.
Hmm.
And when I look at examples, shit, all I have is a bunch of excuses. And
Yeah, honestly, like that's what we should look at, right? Why do we? That's why we are procrastinating our own goals and our own things, right? We always have those excuses of, oh, I'm too busy with this and I'm too busy with that.
correct.
But when you and this is me going back on what I said before. Yes, there are circumstances, but what you said is something I completely concur on as well, because there are so many people who you see come from backgrounds that had them like completely tied down to one particular thing, but they focused on their passion, their love, and they made
Correct.
something out of it. So and that's why we mentioned this in the beginning as well, right? Always give what you love that 10 minutes a day. Even if you're
Yeah,
giving it 10 minutes a day, giving it
everything
those 10
else,
minutes make the biggest difference
it
for
does.
you in the future, right? Because for me also, like you said, why have I studied marketing and commerce and all those things when I want to focus on music. um but the thing in that was like doing all this was, yes, I always had that plan of having this as a backup of, okay, if not music, I'll at least always have this in my backing to push me towards something else. But I always did try to give my time every day to music, whether it be singing or guitar, because I spend, and I'm not even kidding, I'll spend 2 hours with my guitar, and practicing and singing and doing vocal exercises every day, minimum 2 hours, so that I can like reach that point of where I want to later on,
Nice.
wherever that might be. And this I realized really like late on in my life. I didn't realize this until a few years back, that I just wanted to do and focus on, because I was too scared of like coming out of my shell as a quiet person, and I didn't have that confidence in myself at the time. I never really gave it too much thought and didn't give it like the right amount of practice or right amount of time that I should have. But even if it's really late for me, it's never too late to do anything in your life, because you know what, even if you're achieving it in your 40s, you will be happy doing it because this is something you love and this is what your passion is. So never like stop yourself from going towards what you want to like achieve.
Yeah,
And
and if
that's
you're
why that's why
40 and you're listening to this, it could be 60s, man. Like the whole
yeah,
point is age doesn't matter.
yeah,
You just,
like
I mean, even if you begin like right freaking now and you've
yeah,
never done it before, trust me, it's already better than never,
yeah,
or it's
like
already
not
better
giving
than
it a
starting from
try
now.
is, you're being unfair to yourself if you don't give
Yeah,
yourself that opportunity to even just give it
agreed,
that
bro.
one try.
Agreed.
Because
Agreed.
and that's what ikigai is, right? Like that's what you said, the four things that we need to look at, and why people should start adopting it more is that do what you love, do what you're good at, do what like it's also what you think the world needs, and what you can get paid for, even if you so it's just one of those things, like learn how to monetize it for yourself because it's your passion, and people are able to monetize anything now. Like imagine we are doing this podcast, and we are just speaking into like and talking about different topics, right? We are It's not like something crazy, but in the end of the day, we people are monetizing podcasts, people are
Yeah,
monetizing videos from home, people are able to like what, do what they love. And that's because they do it with that passion and that love, and that love can get translated, and that passion does get translated onto like their work, right? And at the end of the day, that's why people start coming working, and that's why people start like paying you more for what you're doing, or at least paying you at some point, right? So that, because that you're putting in that much effort into it.
correct.
But yeah, like it's just following your passion is, it's even if it's just 10 minutes a day or 5 minutes a
Yeah,
day,
just
it's
do
never
do
too
it.
late
I
to do.
mean, for nobody else, man. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point there's a good chance the person listening to this is an adult. You are an
Mhm.
adult sheeple. You're making your own choices. You're doing stuff for your
Yeah,
own self. I don't think at this point you're really living life.
yeah,
And even if you are thinking it's too late and you are in a different path than you wanted to get, take
yeah.
time off things that you are doing to give it
Hmm.
to things that you want to do. I mean, sleep an
Yeah,
hour less, my friend. Wake up an hour early and
yeah.
give it to whatever you want to do, whether it's exercise or making music or it's or being good at poetry. To
Hmm.
be very honest, to give you like simple data, we spend one third of our life, that is 33 freaking percent of our life sleeping.
Hmm.
Like you sleep 8 hours a day out of 24, that's one third. And I know because I did that math 4 times before this podcast. So I'm
Like
not
it's
wrong this
amazing
time.
how much I wish like I didn't need to sleep as a person.
Yeah, like just imagine one third of your day. Like if today was your last day, would you spend 8 hours sleeping? I don't think so.
Hmm.
Like, ugh, don't like sleep and like see, that's the only way. If your day job is too commanding and too consuming, and if your family, the
um
only way you can sort of shave off time is by sleeping less
yeah,
and probably watching a little less television.
I mean,
Or,
even if your passion is watching things, why not like write about it, right? Like it's the simplest thing you can a simple way to put it, but like what, just putting your thoughts out there and putting your love of what you like to do out there is never a bad thing to, like it's just
again,
never a wrong time to do it. And that all starts with you setting that particular dream and goal of yourself, like okay, I want to do this and I want to do this every day. And that's how what, forcing yourself to be like and pushing yourself to be like, no, I will do it and I know I can, because this is something I want to do and this is my passion. At one point you won't even have to say it to yourself, like it'll become like an automatic thing of every day, like you're just doing it. At the end of the day, you're taking that time out because you want to, rather than you have to. kind of
Correct. And if this episode was too boring and you thought it was too like damn freaking serious, comment and let us know. Send us a message.
Yeah.
People, you bored us and we want lighter stuff. And we will promise to take that
Yeah.
feedback into
And
his.
more than anything else, like let us know what passions are. Like I would
Yeah,
love to hear
yeah.
about what it is that you love to do or would love to do, and are you like taking the steps to follow it? Like
Yeah, if your passion is coffee, then oh my god, we did a podcast. Keep talking about it now. If your
you
passion
need
is
to
music, if your
you've been
passion is
plugging it.
music, we did a podcast on music.
Yeah, we did a podcast.
Like stuff that we're passionate about, we already did a
Jeez,
podcast on that. What are you
jeez,
doing with your passion?
plug everywhere. I just need
Like,
to. I have my charger holding it in my hand, like
oh,
just
damn.
plugs. But
Plug
on
it in,
the
man.
topic of plugging ourselves, like you guys can always talk to us on Twitter and
Yeah, so the
Instagram and
point is, if
Reddit.
you enjoy something, talk to
Yeah,
us about it, and it counts towards working on your passion, even if you're having a conversation. I mean, if you're passionate about
like,
something and you
and it
talk to
doesn't
us,
have to be a conversation with us only. You can talk about anyone, but
yeah,
do start working on it at the end
just
of
be like, I love tobacco, you guys suck, love, bye. And I'll be like, okay,
the
appreciate it,
yeah.
my friend.
We'll appreciate
Thanks
all
for writing,
your
being such a loyal patron.
yeah. But again, like you can follow us on places either follow like we are either by the name of Sheeples People, which will
Yeah.
be on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us as the Sheeples Podcast on Reddit.
Yeah,
And
or the Sheeples podcast, as my friend said last time. He forgot to say
yeah,
the S in the T.
podcast हो गया था,
Podcast हो
ist
गया था.
नहीं आया था, ist की जरूरत थी. So
Yeah, I don't know if Sheeples podcast is owned by someone who has a discussion with them.
um, I mean, if someone owns Sheeples Podcast, we kind of plugged them and gave them kind of free
Yeah,
promotion in a way. So
or we can buy them out, make them an offer of exactly
yeah,
$3 because that's what I have in my pocket right now.
yeah.
Convert that into Indian currency. Trying to be cool. Speak to a global
but
audience.
but honestly, like guys, this is oh, sorry, Sheeples. My God, I need to start learning.
It'll take some practice.
Yeah, Sheeples. Like we were really like we just wanted to talk about this because I think this is something we've really had trouble with before, and we've learned from our own experiences, and we are trying to improve ourselves every day to like
I haven't learned
follow.
yet. Still bad
I
at math.
mean, yeah, that's. I mean, fair enough, right? Like, even if you want to improve and learn and get better with it, like, it's never too late. Just start taking those steps, and that's all you can do, right? Like, just do what you love, ikigai in life, right?
Yeah.
So,
Don't be that icky guy, like the icky disgusting gross guy, but
uh,
follow icky guy, which is
ah,
bad joke killer.
ah,
One of them, this podcast.
ikigai, yeah.
So yeah. Oh,
But
also,
yeah,
I don't know. Check out the Instagram. We're trying to do this different kind of comic strip.
mhm.
I mean, if you guys are into like really reactionist things,
Eh,
like just stripping
we are
down
also
scenes.
trying to make Spotify playlists to
Yeah, and we're making
accompany
Spotify
our
playlists.
kind of
We're looking at
podcasts.
different ways to sort of speak to you guys.
Yeah,
Because we want to do stuff that is out of the box.
yeah,
And check it out. Check out our playlist. Check out our comic strip, and let us know if
yeah.
you like it or you don't.
I guess this will be us signing out, right?
Yes.
Um, yeah. So
Bye,
goodbye from
sheeples. See you
yeah.
next
Bye,
time.
sheeple. See you next time.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay.